This is the second video in the series titled, Knowledge of Science Can Be Useful to a Kung Fu Man. The first video in this series discussed the word force as it is used in the science of physics. Physics defines a force as anything that can cause a mass to accelerate, which basically means that a force is anything that can cause an object to move. Forces are invisible. The science of physics uses arrows named vectors to visually represent invisible forces. A vector has a magnitude or size and a direction associated with it. This picture shows an example of a two-dimensional vector. The first article stated that one of the characteristics of a force was that a force could cause a change in pressure in a three-dimensional object. A finger pressing into the palm of the hand was presented as an example of a force. The pressure felt by the hand when the finger presses on it is due to a force exerted by the finger on the hand. A vector arrow has been drawn on the finger in this picture to represent the invisible force in the finger. Why does the finger being pressed into the palm stop moving? A common answer would be that the palm of the hand stops the finger from moving any further. According to the science of physics, though, the palm of the hand is not stopping the finger from moving. According to the way that the science of physics views the world, the finger stops moving because an equal and exactly opposite force from the palm of the hand has completely neutralized the force in the finger. The finger stops moving because the force in it has been reduced to zero. The invisible force in the palm of the hand can also be represented by a vector arrow. This picture has a vector arrow in the palm of the hand pointing directly at the vector arrow from the finger to represent the equal but exactly opposite invisible force being exerted by the palm on the finger. What happens if the hand is moved away from the finger, as demonstrated in this picture? The invisible force in the finger does not just disappear. The finger is still applying the invisible force, as indicated by the vector arrow on the finger in this picture. According to happy theory, because the invisible force in the finger is no longer being opposed by the invisible force from the palm, the invisible force in the finger is free to project out into empty space from the end of the finger, as demonstrated in this picture. According to happy theory, this concept of invisible forces projecting out into empty space from the end of the finger can be applied to the entire human body. According to happy theory, the human body constantly generates invisible forces that are a product of the processes that keep a human body alive. Some of those constantly generated and constantly changing invisible forces are projected outwards from every surface of the entire human body. Here is a picture of a human body. Vector arrows pointing outwards from the body are then added to the picture to visually represent the invisible forces projecting out from the entire surface of the body. It might be hard to believe that there are invisible forces projecting outwards from the entire surface of a living human body. This claim can be proved using the same reasoning that explained why a finger applying an invisible force to a palm stops moving into the palm. Take a moment to press your finger into any part of your body that you choose. At some point, your finger will stop moving. Why? A common answer would be that the body stops the finger. From the previous discussion of the finger and the palm example, though, we know that according to the science of physics, there must be an equal but opposite force projecting outwards from the body that neutralize the invisible force in the finger and stop the finger from moving any further into the body. This picture demonstrates the invisible forces projecting out from the body, neutralizing the invisible force being applied by the finger. The vector arrow from the finger is being directly opposed by a vector arrow of equal magnitude but opposite direction projecting out from the body. According to happy theory, the concept of invisible forces projecting outwards from every surface of the entire human body provides one explanation for what is commonly called the energy body of a human being. According to some people, human beings have energy. Human energy is described as being invisible to most people, and human energy is said to permeate and completely envelop the human body. The energy of a human being is also described as being able to interact with other living creatures. The description of the energy body of a human being almost exactly matches the description of a force. The energy body of a human being and a force are both invisible. The energy body of a human being and the invisible forces produced by a living human body can both interact with other living creatures. The energy body of a human being is said to permeate the physical body, and the invisible forces that are produced by the ongoing process of life also permeate the physical body. The energy body is said to completely envelop the physical body, and the human body is completely enveloped by the invisible forces projecting outwards from its entire surface. Here is the picture of the human body completely enveloped by vector arrows, which are representing the invisible forces projecting out from every surface of the body. The human body is then removed from the picture, leaving only the vector arrow outline of the human body. According to happy theory, this picture represents one definition of the energy body of a human being. According to happy theory, one definition for the energy body of a human being is, the energy body of a human being is the name given to the collection of all of the invisible forces defined by the science of physics that project outwards from the entire surface of the physical body of a living human being. A Kirlian camera is a camera that is supposed to be able to take a picture of the energy body of a human being. This Kirlian photograph of what is claimed to be the human energy body looks similar to the vector arrow outline of the human body created by the invisible forces projecting out from its surface. This video has provided an example of how knowledge of science can be useful to a Kung Fu man. Knowledge of the science of physics could help a Kung Fu man understand what people mean when they talk about human energy or the energy body of a human being.